Republican Senators Ted Cruz and Josh Hawley thought for certain that their objection to the Electoral College was going to be their ticket to securing Donald Trump's base for a 2024 presidential run. And instead, in the days that have followed since that electoral vote counting and certification during the joint session of Congress, both men have now found themselves among some of the most hated individuals in Congress, among the normal people in this country. And that's not going to bode well for a future political run for a higher office. Let's put it that way. Holly and Cruz both objected to the certification of the votes from Arizona and Pennsylvania. Now, Ted Cruz has been in a, about 5-6 day long Twitter feud with Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, where she has repeatedly dragged his ass, for lack of a better way to put it. But Ted Cruz insists on doubling down and saying, I have the right to challenge these votes. I can do that. It's my constitutional right now. Yeah, dude, you totally do. But you don't have a legitimate reason to do it. And everybody in the country understands that now. And by doing it, by continuing to push this false narrative that there was some kind of massive fraud, excuse me, you're encouraging more of what we saw on Wednesday. Same thing goes for Josh Hawley. That picture of him walking by those protesters on Wednesday morning with his little, yeah, right on, I got you, buds. Yeah, that picture's come back to haunt him. That picture is still, making the rounds all over social media, because people need to understand that that is who Josh Hawley is. He saw these individuals out there. He knew the warnings, by the way, as did the Capitol Police. They knew what these people were coming to Washington, D.C. to do. They had been posting it on Parler. They'd been posting it on 4chan. They'd been posting it everywhere. They knew exactly what these individuals were going to do, and so did Hawley, and he still walked by and gave him the fist of solidarity. These men have significantly hurt their presidential bids. Now, they haven't killed their presidential bids yet, obviously, but it's going to take a heck of a lot over the next 4 years for them to get back to that point where they were before Wednesday. It's amazing how quickly everything can shift for these people. But then you take a guy, take somebody like Tom Cotton, who also has presidential ambitions. I have repeatedly said over the last month or two that it's Cotton, Hawley, and Cruz. Holly and Cruz went one way, decided to challenge the results, got dragged for it. People are calling for their resignation for it. And then there's Tom Cotton, who played it the other way, and he said, I'm not going to object. I'm not going to go out there and verify and validate these false claims. I'm going to play it cool. Because I, Tom Cotton, understand something. He didn't say this, but those of us who can analyze these things understand what he's saying. Tom Cotton is saying, I understand that this Trump base y'all are fighting over is going to continue to get smaller, and it's not going to be enough to give somebody an edge in a primary. But I'll tell you what is enough to give somebody an edge in a primary, not scaring off the normal people, which is exactly what Cruz and Hawley did. Tom Cotton, for all of his flaws, and as much as he is a horrible human being, who, by the way, let's not forget when the Iran deal was being signed, he encouraged Iran, went behind the U.S.'s back, encouraged Iran to not sign it. That is tantamount to treason. And yet he still, after committing treason, essentially, had enough sense to not back the treason and sedition that happened this past Wednesday. Cruz and Hawley could have learned something from Tom Cotton, and that's probably the only time I'm ever going to say that anyone could learn something from Tom Cotton. But he played it smart, they played it stupid, and they are going to pay the price for a very long time to come.